Do you take Ozempic? If you do, listen very carefully to what I have to say in this video. Hi, I'm Dr. Soham Patel. I'm a board certified endocrinologist and lifestyle medicine physician. Now, the latest trend I'm seeing is people being put on Ozempic for weight loss, left and right. I'm not giving any medical advice here, and you should be always consulting your qualified health professional and make a decision with them about whether Ozempic is right for you or not. But what I'm trying to do in this video is actually share a bigger concern, and that is, are you really getting informed consent for being put on Ozempic? See, Ozempic is primarily approved for type 2 diabetes, but it has a very beneficial weight loss effect, and voila, you have everybody being put on Ozempic left and right. But let's take a step back and first understand how Ozempic works, what is Ozempic and how Ozempic works, and then what are the potential side effects and risks that no one seems to care about. That's the real problem, is no one is having a full informed discussion about the full impact of Ozempic before they're put on that. So Ozempic is a GLP-1 agonist. Agonist means something that works similar to what that particular molecule is, has a positive effect on that receptor. And GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1. GLP-1 is one of the many gut hormones that our gut secretes, which has very beneficial metabolic effect. And so it works through 4 different mechanisms. The first one is it works on your satiety center in the brain, so it allows you to have less food cravings, number 1. Number 2, it slows down how fast your gut moves, the bowel and the intestine motility. The faster the movement, the more glucose is absorbed into the bloodstream, whereas slower the movement, less glucose is absorbed in the bloodstream from the food in the intestine. Number 3, it slows down the production of glucose from your liver, especially during the nighttime. There's a process called gluconeogenesis. Glucose has been created from building blocks of fat and protein in your liver. And that's a safety mechanism. We produce about a gram of glucose every hour. But with type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, you typically see that being 5-6 grams of glucose being produced every hour throughout your sleep, even if you're not eating. And what GLP-1 does is it lowers that production down to 1 to 2 grams an hour. So that's the third beneficial effect. And the fourth effect is it stimulates your pancreas, the gland in your abdomen that is equipped to produce insulin. And it stimulates your pancreas to produce more insulin in response to your sugar level, where the sugar is. So it has 4 beneficial effects. And that's why you see a very, a good effect in terms of lowering your sugars and also lowering the weight. So it's win-win if you just look at that. But the part that we are not talking equally importantly is, what are the side effects? Every medication has side effects. So the first thing that we commonly see is people get nausea or stomach upset and sometimes very bad vomiting because it slows down the gut motility. It also causes constipation, same reason, it slows down the gut motility. And the nausea and the constipation effects can actually persist. The vomiting effect can many times go down. It happens initially in the first or 2 doses and then it kind of goes down. Rarely there I do encounter patients who do not see any reduction in that, and after weeks of being on it and being miserable, we do have to take them off the Ozempic. But constipation and nausea are more common effects. You can also see gallstone formation. You can also rarely see pancreatitis. Pancreas, the gland that produces insulin, can get very inflamed, and it's a very painful condition. You end up in the hospital. You are put NPO, meaning no food to eat by mouth, and it can be potentially fatal. Now, I'm not saying it happens all the time. It's a rare side effect, but I have seen it, happen a few times. And it can also, recently, a study published showed that being on Ozempic increases your risk of getting thyroid cancer or being diagnosed with thyroid cancer twice compared to if you're not on Ozempic. Now, this is just one study. I'm not saying it's a very strong level of evidence, but we are finding new things every few months, every few years. So there has to be a proper and honest discussion about what are the benefits and what are the side effects of any medication. In this case, we're talking about Ozempic. And the second aspect of that is, what are safer natural alternatives to being on Ozempic to get weight loss? Is anybody getting any information on that or not? What is the impact of eating a plant predominant lifestyle, eating predominantly whole plant foods? What is the impact of intermittent fasting? What is the impact of good stress management? What is the impact of good sleep routine? And together, all four of them can actually have a very synergistic effect. It's not 1 + 1 + 1 = 4. It could be, equal to 10. So are you really getting a very 360-degree discussion of what are the benefits, what are the side effects, and what are other alternatives to get weight loss? And that's what's not happening. So the purpose of this video is to, start that discussion and have that conversation with your healthcare professionals, and then come to a informed decision of whether Ozempic is the right thing for you or not. So that's the whole point, is make an informed decision and see what other options are available that may be more safer. Okay? So to health and wellness, I'll see you in the next video.